Good morning, DJ at the shop, Paranormal Response. Cold, 18 degrees. So last week we had minus 24, got up to 30 degrees. It was 45 to 48 degrees on the weekend. And here we are now, what, on Wednesday, and we're back to 18. And by Saturday, they're saying we're going to get back up into about 45 to 50 degrees. That's New York weather. It's stupid. Well, it's not stupid. I mean, I get a chance to clean dog poop up. That's always cool. Helps me, sorry, I thought somebody's pulling in. Helps me keep up with things so I don't have a pile of mush in the spring. Windows. Finally getting the windows done here. These things are from the 50s. They leak. They get ice inside of them. So I had the Amish come out. And I know the Amish aren't watching this, so that's cool. But who would have known, unless the Amish are on their weekend binge of debauchery. It's the only time they're going to see this, I guess. Who would have knew? What a screwing. I had them come out, and I thought it was, I kind of trusted them just because they're Amish. And he hit me with like $8,000 for the windows. I thought that was pretty decent. They're big windows. They're about 7 feet across by 6 feet high. And there's 3 of them, 3 huge picture windows. And the first place that I called, I talked to the lady and she told me, no, we don't do windows that big. I said, okay, you're a window place, right? She's like, yeah, we're mostly just residential, not commercial. So, okay, so I went back to the Amish and told them that I was going to see about financing and probably go ahead with them. So the guy calls me yesterday and he's talking to me, and I was kind of rude to him because, the lady already told me no. But I said come out. So he came out and he called the Amish before, because I told him that I went with the Amish. He called them and got all the lowdown on the type of windows that they use and how they do it. And he sold me right there that he went the extra mile to figure it out. And he showed me what they do and with pictures. And in his back of his truck, he had all the windows that he sold, samples, and he was $4,000 for all the windows. And I need a new door, so we put a new door on there, and even with that, he was still $3,000 cheaper. So it doesn't always pay to go with the Amish. They have great meat, though. They have a meat department down here, and the meat's really good. So that's that. What we're doing today, we're going to test this bad boy out. I did a little test with it last night, and it was kind of a private session, so I'm not going to, I didn't record it or anything, but not for the internet. The Insidious box. So we've got a tube on the top. We've got the same battery that I put into all of them. This one was really hard. This one was even smaller than Kevin's box. So, Mr. Sausage Fingers had a really hard time putting the wires in this thing. But they're in there. We've sealed it, so nobody can get in there and play around, and, unless you absolutely have to. It's sealed with some glue. We got a 1/4-inch jack on the front. All boxes will get this 1/4-inch jack now. It's heavy duty. It's easy to work on, and it's just better for the long run. I mean, I usually just keep something plugged into mine most of the time, but I know other people that are always in and out with it. The battery's on the back. The tube is on the top. This tube does not pulse with the sound. The LED, I've got 2 LEDs in there. I've got one laying on the base so it all glows, and then I've got one up top so it's a little brighter. It looks nice. No pulsing though, if that's what you're wanting. Power button, bass, volume, treble. This is a new amp. Same amp, no Bluetooth. A little more heavy duty though, and less expensive. We've got the Ultimate Reverb. I can't remember. Ultimate Reverb, I think it's called. That's on top. And I've noticed with these, when you go with a straight radio, and I took it out of the shop because I don't have great reception in here. I went out into the parking lot and I was messing around with it. Here's the thing with some of these. They all have level controls. This first one is your level control, and you want to keep that up all the time. Keep it up. That's basically your volume for your pedal. Just keep it up. Use your volume on the radio that you're plugging into it. Use your volume here. Leave that one up all the time. And then you've got your effects, the blend of your effects. The higher you go, the lower your signal is going to cut out because you're putting more effect onto it, which will take your signal down. It's making that signal more wet. You're hearing more of it. So I usually mess around with that. I'll either crank it all the way to get the most echo, or I'll put it halfway when I'm testing it, just so that I know it's working. And then you've got your different reverbs. You've got your room, your hall, and normal. And when it's on normal, this light turns like a reddish green, so you know that you're not really affecting the signal too much, and you can go in between. It'll go from a red to green to a solid green as you put more room into it. And then you've got your bypass switch. It's real simple. Oh, this was going to be a power switch. I got it in and it wasn't working. And then I realized I got a 30 amp switch, and this isn't a 30 amp battery. So this is just looks. I'm sorry. I don't want to take it out and put a hole there. It still looks alright though. You've got a small speaker in here. I think this is only like a 2-inch speaker, which is why this won't pulsate. It doesn't allow for the whole 16 watts of this amp to pump through this speaker. I think it's only pumping about 4 watts. So it doesn't have the power to pump the LED and pulse it. That's why. I mean, you'll see it pulse a little bit, but nowhere near some of the other boxes, the bigger boxes. So that's why. And this box here is about 6 3/4 long by 5 inches wide and maybe 5.5 inches deep. Everything is in here. It's sealed shut tight. You hear a little bit of I have to break these tubes to get the LEDs inside of them. Sometimes I shatter the hell out of them, sometimes I don't. But there's always going to be just a tiny bit of residue. I try to get it all out. But I have to leave a little sleeve so that I can drill a hole and glue it so that it's nice and tight. So that's the Insidious box. Price, $250. $250. I've got a lot of people on eBay hitting me up and saying, hey, do you have any $200 boxes? No, but I got one for $250. So we're going to check it out. We're going to listen to it. I'll set up. Here's another thing I forgot to tell you guys about. Something I picked up on not on eBay, on Facebook, like Marketplace, like the yard sales that they have for your hometown. Got this little AT&T phone for 25 bucks, and now I don't have to use my personal phone to kill my battery all day. I just carry this little thing around with me, and I got the apps on there that I need. All the same apps, almost all the same apps that I have on my I can't remember the name of the damn phone. Anyway, all the same apps that I have on my Droid. The only thing that I couldn't get on here was the Paranormal Spirit Radio, and I wanted to see if it would work better on this phone because I only get 4 minutes of use with it on that phone. And their website, they don't offer that anymore, but you can find it on a third-party site. It just doesn't work for me, and it's a shame because I really, really like that app. But they have others on there, and I've noticed that all these places, all these guys making these apps, they're going to Windows. Everything's a Windows app, and I tried getting a Windows phone, but it was older, and it wouldn't support like a 10.1 or whatever it was. So none of those apps were going to work for me. So I went with this cheap route for now, just to get the apps that I use now. And I'll look into maybe getting a Windows tablet because there's a lot of really nice apps out there. I know some people, they don't like them, they shoot them down. But I tell you what, I've been using apps for a year. And there's some bad ones, there's some really bad ones, but if you read the comments, they'll tell you they're bad. They'll say they're shit. And when you read the ones that have, 80% success rate, they're usually decent apps. People aren't lying. And yeah, they do use sound banks, but if you get an app that uses up to 4 or 5 sound banks, that's a lot of sound, and that's more than enough for a spirit to manipulate. So yeah, you're going to hear some things repeat, but if that's an app that you use a lot, you'll know what's a repeat and you'll know what's a response. I mean, you'll know what's a response just because it's relevant. So all these dummies that say, "Oh, it's a loop, it's a loop," shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. Go back to watching Ghost Hunters. But yeah, this is a good idea. It's easy, it's small. If it cracks, I don't care. I can use my app on here and record video with this if I'm out, you know. It's a better recording unit. Although this isn't too bad. But I would suggest doing that. A little tip. Okay, I'm using my phone. I've got a adapter plugged into 3.5 millimeter to a 1/4 inch jack, and we're using the Matrix app. Can you see that? I've used this for my diner session and it came out pretty good. So this is only my second or third time using it, and I did discover that it does have a millisecond meter up here, and its default is 1500. And I'm gonna leave it there. That seems to be a good in between. So like I said, I've got the level all the way up. My blend is somewhere in the middle. And I'll probably mess around with these as I go because I've only used this one time, which was last night, and I got great results with it. Good morning, spirits. Hello, how are you? Good. Who am I talking to? Could you say that one more time, please? Can you say your name one more time for me, please? Lewis? Hey, Lewis. How you been? I haven't heard from you in a little bit. Great. Last night I was sitting here and I was going through this box and I heard behind me somebody say, "Hey." Now I know nobody's here but me, so I just turned around and said, "Hey, who was that?" Who said "hey" last night to me? Don't know? Okay. So it must have been, could have been a passerby. So what do you think about this radio here? It's a small one, but it's got a lot going for it. Now I'm not keeping this radio, so you guys know. So don't get too used to it. This one is going up on the chopping block. I'm still trying to make my radio. I don't know what I want to do with it yet, but it'll be a special one. But the more I make these, the more I know, you know, what it is that they like. And this pedal here I've used before. And eventually I'll just stick with, you know, two to three pedals that I really like. And that'll go on everything. Unless you have a request. If there's something that you want, you know, you want a whammy bar or distortion pedal, whatever, you know, I'll do it. So Lewis, are you still with me? Right here. I know I've asked this 100 times, but I haven't been able to hear the answer. I'm trying to find out who is Lewis and who is Crenshaw. Are you the same person? Is your last name Mr. Crenshaw? I'm sorry, I'm not hearing you. I don't mean to keep asking, but I wanna validate it so that I know who I'm talking to. Can you just say yes or no so I can hear it? What did you used to do for a living, Lewis? Okay, there's some stuff going on there, but I'm not hearing it all. But when it comes through, boy, is it nice and clear as you can hear. This is a nice little pedal. I'm not even going to tell you what the name is. I don't want nobody taking it from me. I think I told you the name already. So, Lewis, what year were you alive? What time period? Did you say 30s? Yeah, right. So you even visited the diner. Were you here when I was doing the diner session? Did you know George? Lewis, how many people stay here at this shop? You hear me? Okay. If you see any, I've got an incense stick going and it's starting to blow this way. Choking me. So, I don't think I need to validate any more with this app. It's pretty freaking good. So, and I like this, but this old guy who keeps mumbling, he's in the program. He overpowers a lot of stuff, and I don't know if I can get in there and turn him off. Because I'm hearing Lewis behind this guy, and he just keeps talking, but he's not relevant to anything being said. I've never heard that voice say anything. Can anybody manipulate the voice of the older man speaking and say hello with that man's voice? I heard a whisper in there. So we're gonna try one more app just so I can show you on a scanning radio, and we'll see how that sounds. I'm gonna stop this. Thank you, Lewis. Thank you for coming through. If you want to come through in the next app, you can. Goodbye. Okay, I'm gonna switch. I don't know if I'm gonna still use the Halte app or if I'm gonna plug in a radio. Okay, I'm back. I do have the 808 going, and we're on an AM scan because the FM is just too noisy, and I'm only picking up maybe 2 or 3 stations on each scan, and it's not good enough. I mean, it's not any better on the AM in this place, but it's quiet, and when something comes through, I'll hear it a little better. Hi, spirits. Who's still with me? Did you say George? How them bagels going? Making lots of bagels this morning? Good. What's your favorite bagel? I like those everything bagels. Did they have everything bagels in the 30s? I like onion bagels. I like a lot of things that I didn't like 20 years ago. Man, I think when you get old, you just start to like old people food. I don't know. It's strange. I've been eating a lot of pizzelles too. See, I'm on this stupid diet where I drink my breakfast and my lunch. I've been out for 10 days and working out, just trying to lose 20, man. Struggle. I used to run 2 miles a day every day, and then I hurt my foot and I couldn't run for a year, and I gained another 8 pounds. Sucks. Getting old sucks, you guys. Will anybody talk to me? There we go. Crank it up a little bit. So you can hear that I'm letting more static come through as I release more of the effect. And if I turn the effect up, it kind of acts like a static cutter and it removes a little more of that static, but you're going to get more effect and more of that echo, which is pretty much how the Geobox is designed to work. If you're into the Geobox type of thing, that's kind of what this whole sound is. And it's nothing that I've done, it's just the way the pedals react to the signal. So I'm not stealing anything. Whoever's watching, there's nothing to steal. So that's about it. I knew it was going to be a little less eventful with the radio signal in here, but here, I'll show you FM real quick. It's going to be staticky. And I can see I can put more signal on it. I'm getting rid of that static. Yeah, there's no point. There's no point in here. One day, I almost thought about putting an antenna on the damn roof. 1980s antenna. So let me close this out by saying thank you, Lewis, for coming through. Thank you, George, for coming through. It was nice talking to you guys. You guys have a good day. You know, new windows are coming in this place. I hope they look good. Well, I hope I get approved, actually, because I don't have the cash for it. New garage doors and new windows. Good. You know, hey, George, you see the picture I keep up here of you by your diner? Have you seen it? You know, you were one of the first people here on this property, so I honor you by keeping your picture up. That's his voice. I didn't know what he said, though. All right. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Goodbye. Have a great day. Thank you, guys. Like and subscribe. Well, no, I don't really care, honestly.